We already know that your entire exam will be for 100 marks. So out of this 100 marks, you will have section A for 50 marks and you will have section B for 50 marks. Section A will have one question and section B will have two questions of 25 marks each. Correct? This is the first question, second question and third question. Now with that being said, what I want you to understand is how to plan your examination. Okay? See, when I say how to plan your exam, I just mean a basic overview. It doesn't mean that everyone has to follow the exact same technique that I'm saying and everyone has to exactly follow it second by second. Because usually what people will do is we have 3 hours 15 minutes. 15 minutes excess time you can remove it. Effectively you will have 3 hours. So 3 hours is equal to 180 minutes. You have 100 marks. So that means effectively you will have 1.8 minutes per each mark. So that means that if you are having a 10 marks question, you can spend 18 minutes on that particular question. This is a common way of measuring your timing in the examination. I wouldn't suggest that you follow exactly like every 1.5 minutes you have to make sure that yes, 1 mark question has been answered, or every 18 minutes you have to make sure that yes, 10 marks of the question is answered. Not required. That doesn't really apply in the exam because it's practically impossible for us to go in that manner. Some questions, even though less marks, they take more time. Some questions, even though more marks, you are so comfortable you can answer it fastly. So it depends upon student to student, question to question. So I will not give you this method of answering or scheduling your exam. Yes, it is a valid method, as it's absolutely fine. But rather what I will suggest is that, you have a total of 3 hours in your exam. So first section A, you give 1.5 hour, 1 hour 30 minutes. And the second section you give 1 hour 30 minutes. Common sense, equal weightage to both the parts. And first question, when you have 1 hour 30 minutes, what you will do is in this 1 hour 30 minutes, you spread it as 15 minutes for, or else 20 minutes rather, question reading. Yes, you heard me right. 20 minutes of your time will be taken away for reading the question effectively. Then what you'll do is 10 minutes you take for planning and structuring your answer. It may seem like, sir, what are you saying, sir? You asked us to literally spend 30 minutes without even writing the answer. Absolutely fine. Trust me. Absolutely fine. This is going to give you amazing result in the examination. Okay, and then 1 hour you spend on answer. Do you think you can write more than 1 hour for one answer? No matter, even though it is for 50 marks, do you think you can actually spend more than an hour writing one answer? I don't think so. So this is what I will suggest for you guys. So for answering the first question, take 20 minutes to actually read the question. I'll tell you why I'm stressing so much on reading the question, because I have seen so many students, actually so many bright and talented students giving their APM examination and losing marks, losing confidence, just because they didn't read the question carefully. Very, very, very common mistake in APM paper, not reading the question. Okay, I'll show that to you in the first question that I'm going to discuss with you guys after I show you the examination scheduling and time allocation. Okay, so now 20 minutes read the question, 10 minutes in mind create a mind map on how you want to answer, what are the bullet points that you want to create, what is the structure of your answer, what is the format that you want to follow, everything you decide in the next 10 minutes, design and decide your answer, and then 1 hour for practically writing that answer, implementing your planning. And then coming to the section B. Section B doesn't really need you to do this much of analysis now, because it's 25 mark question and they're straightforward. Okay, they are not reportings or they are not too huge in content. So what you can do is 10 minutes for reading the question, 20 minutes for 10 minutes for reading, 10 minutes for planning, and 20-25 minutes for writing the answer. Okay, so what you can do is plan it as 45 minutes and 45 minutes. for each question. So out of this 45 minutes, 10 minutes question, then 10 minutes planning, and 25 minutes for answer. Okay. Or else you can change it a little bit. Slightly you can modify it as 10, 5 and 30, whatever it is. As I told you, this is just a generic idea that I'm giving you. You can modify it according to your convenience. See, some people are good with reading the question faster. Some people take time. So accordingly, you change your structure. But make sure that this is an overall plan that you are having. Okay. Now let's see our March 2020 question paper, the recent question paper. Only the question, first question, not the answer. What I'm going to show is the how to read the question, or not even how to read the question, because if I read the question again, I'll have to decide how discuss with you how to answer the question. Rather, what I'll be doing is I'll show you how the questions are structured and how you need to plan your answer. Okay, so let's go there. So this is the first question paper here. Yeah, Advanced Performance Management, APM, Wednesday 4th March 2020, time 3 hours 15 minutes, one question, section B, two questions. Present value table and annuity tables are given to you on page number 10 and 11. And yeah, see here, the first question, as I told you, from September 2019, the question structure for the first question has changed. You can see that here very clearly. See, what they're saying is that company information. In the first part of the question, they are talking about the company's information, what they are dealing with. They were previously having a clothes being sold in their physical, what do you call it, stores. Now they want to shift from physical stores to complete website, that is purely online sales, and they have recently sold their last physical shop as well. And they gave you the mission statement of the organization, that is deliver long-term returns to the shareholders. Okay, fine, I got my first point in the question, long-term returns. That means a sustainable growth should be there in the organization to the shareholders through a combination of, yeah, that is what they're telling here, sustainable growth in earnings per share, EPS should increase, and payment of cash dividends. That means DPS should also increase. Earning per share, dividend per share, both of them should be sustainable. That means long-term growth should be there in those two aspects. This mission will be achieved by following subsidiary objectives. So these are the business objectives of the business. Product range should be improved. That means research and development, new products should be launched. Increasing the number of customers and their individual spend. Number of customers should increase, and amount spent by each customer should also increase. Focus on the customer service. That means very quick delivery, returns, all that stuff should be, customer service should be increased upon, focused upon. Improving profitability by efficient cost control in purchasing. Okay, and inventory management. Variance analysis can be conducted, material cost variance, material usage variance can be done, and then apart from that, inventory management, just in time technique can be followed, and other strategies will be there. We'll discuss all that when we deal with the syllabus. As of now, I'm just reading the first question. Okay, and then they are talking about what happened with the CEO and what happened with the managing directors and other stuff. Then you can see that, see, this is what I have told you. The entire question is structured in paragraphs. See, what is the first paragraph? Current performance reporting. So what is happening in the current performance reporting? They are saying that, and they gave you that although the CEO is fairly happy with the report. Okay, CEO is fairly happy, but he wants you to conduct a performance report for annual strategic review. And see appendix 1 for the most recent example. So current reporting system example is given in your first appendix 1. Appendix means additional documentation along with the master document. Then second one, other proposed performance indicators, newly proposed indicators, and you can see them in appendix 2. Next one, role of the management accounting, and whatever he is doing, everything has been given. And data warehouse, this is relating to the big data and data analytics, the information technology aspect. This is put in a separate paragraph. You can see that every part is separately identified in their paragraphs and properly structured. And now coming to the question, write a report to the Chief Executive Officer, CEO of HLT, to respond to her instructions for work on the following areas. So first one, on current performance reporting, 15 marks. Other proposed indicators, 8 marks. Changing role of the management accountant, 12 marks. Opportunities and risks of introducing new data warehouse, 11 marks. So you can see that for this paragraph, separate question, for this paragraph separate question, this paragraph one part of the question, this paragraph another part of the question. The question itself is so neatly structured for you guys. So what you can do is, okay fine, first current performance reporting, immediately you will go back, you will read this part of the question, then immediately you will come down, you will see appendix 1 relating to that, and then you will start structuring your answer, and you can perform and you can present your answer relating to that first question. Then you can read into what are the other proposed performance indicators. Then you can go to appendix 2, see these are the other proposed indicators, so you can look into those aspects. Then next one, change of role in management accountant, you can see here this paragraph, and you can decide, you can comment upon that. And similarly, data warehouse, you can read this and you can suggest them whether it is an actually appropriate for them to introduce this, what are the risks that are associated, what are the advantages of that. See your answer, this is the answers. You can see that even your answer first to the CEO of Agility, because they asked you to write a report to the chief executive officer, so obviously to the chief executive officer from the accountant, date of the report and subject should be there. And next one, an introduction paragraph about what is being done. Then on each aspect you have to very clearly structure your answer like this. First one, current performance reporting, so current performance reporting. And if you go back to your question, you can see that the objectives are split into primary objectives to deliver long-term returns by increasing EPS and DPS, that is the primary objective, and the secondary subsidiary objectives are given 4. Those things should be clearly mentioned. See here, primary aim is to deliver long-term return, that is through EPS and DPS, and subsidiary goals are also given here. The 4 subsidiary objectives are given, and then on each objective they are explaining the point of view how the reporting is being conducted. Then other points relating to that are separately presented. Then your comments relating to that, what changes could be made or what are the suggestions that you are giving. Then similarly, second one, other performance indicators, set note on that. Then changing role of the management accounting on that. Then data warehouse, opportunities and risks. So that will give you 50 marks. See, the structure of your answer will give you 4 marks for your presentation. So please be very careful in this particular regards. Okay. And next one, I'll tell you where students usually do a very big mistake, huge mistake. See here, write a report to the CEO of Agility to respond to your instructions on the work on the following. They asked you to write a report on the current performance reporting system of the organization. See, they want you to comment on this report that has been submitted. They don't want you to look into these figures, identify these figures, analyze these figures and comment on these figures. They don't want you to do that. They don't want you to see the revenue has grown from 192 to 212. That means there is 10% growth. This shows that the company is doing more marketing, the company is attracting more customers. Don't do that chiller nonsense that you have already done in financial reporting and strategic business reporting papers. Evaluating the business by looking at the numbers and interpreting the financial statements, you have already done that in financial reporting. At APM, we don't want you to comment on the performance of the organization. Here the question is asking you to report on the performance reporting system of the organization, not on the performance but on the reporting system of the organization. So please be very careful regarding what is being asked and accordingly give your answer. 90% of the time, the first question of your syllabus of your APM paper shall be to comment on the reporting system of the organization. So please make sure that you know what are the key qualities of a good performance report system, what should be the structure, what are expectations, who is it addressed to, and all that stuff which we'll discuss in the syllabus. Okay, once we start our syllabus, obviously I'll discuss every single part. Trust me, your content, your knowledge will be absolutely fine. You won't have a single issue with the syllabus of the subject. The only problem, only thing that you need to focus upon or you need to work upon is actually how to implement that knowledge to that particular practical question, and that can be built, my dear friend, only through practice. Only through practice can you achieve mastery in advanced performance management. See, I can teach you amazing just-in-time techniques. I can teach you how to implement TQM in an organization, how to go with BPR, what are the steps involved in BPR, what are the advantages and disadvantages of each strategy that we can discuss. But all of that will be useless unless you know how to take that just in time technology, just sorry technique, how to take that just in time technique and use it for an organization, adopt it in an organization, and evaluate the performance of that pre incorporation of JIT and post incorporation of JIT. You should know how to apply that to a given scenario. So wouldn't you be able to teach that in the class? Unfortunately, no. See, I can take 2 classes, I can take 3 classes, I can take 4 classes on each topic, taking various scenarios, but fifth scenario will come in the exam. If I take 5, then sixth scenario will come in the exam. Nobody can completely exhaust all the possible cases or practical cases. So what I'll be doing is, for every topic of the syllabus, I'll take one question and I'll show you how to deal with that question in the exam. But that doesn't mean that you can by heart 10 questions and expect the same question in the exam. You should be knowing, you should be having the skills to practically implement your knowledge to a given question, and that can be achieved only and only through practice. So please make sure that you cover at least 40 to 50 various practical questions. Do at least 4 5 previous questions, previous question papers. Mandatorily do at least 4 5 previous question papers, and trust me, you can easily score 70s and 80s. Very easily you can score 70s and 80s in APM. And touch wood, if everything goes well and if your preparation and presentation is top notch, we can also expect global ranks, as one of my student has previously already scored global 13th rank in advanced performance management. So it's always possible. So keep your hopes high, and stick to the classes. Make sure that you are taking running notes, highlighting the important aspect, create a list of technical jargon that you need to use, and all other stuff. Make sure that you are practicing more of the questions and scenario based questions, and you can come out with amazing marks in the paper, right? Thank you guys.